All right, so this is going to be a little bit different video than, well, I guess you could say normal, but what is normal? I'm now obviously in the new house. Most of the videos I've done have been from my desk. You might hear a little bit of echo. I'm going to hopefully try to cut down on that. I will, we'll see what happens. If there's a little bit of echo, I'm sorry, we'll figure that out as we go. But I figured just a little bit of a different setting. The same thing at my sister and brother-in-law's house. Now, I occasionally go up to visit Lisa and Mark, and if you've seen the pugs on this channel, that's where they live. They live up in Ocala. But part of the thing there is, I stay in the back bedroom on the other part of the house. There is everything in between that bedroom and say that where the Wi-Fi is for the house. All that signal comes into the front of the house. I'm way in the back of the house. Now I know that sounds like a first world problem, but when you have a lot of a block, brick and stuff like that, construction and distance in between, it just means that sometimes you have a problem getting Wi-Fi or trying to get an internet signal. Now, to do a channel, or say if I go to spend time at their house and still try to do videos or still try to upload videos, that becomes a little bit of a problem because not only do their internet is not quite as strong as mine is, but with the Wi-Fi signal, it makes it even more of a challenge. I did have a Wi-Fi extender, worked great, made by Netgear. Is one of the units that it looked very much like a regular router, but it was just an extender. I bought it a couple years back. Cost me about $270, I think it was. Really nice one. If I remember or if I can find it, I'll go ahead and post a picture here. It was great, but I got into the habit of leaving some of my computer stuff behind. Yeah, that was pretty much a bad idea. So in the overexuberance of my brother-in-law, which is sometimes known to have, hi Mark, how you doing? Still not mad, don't worry. This was in a box that was sitting not too far from the computer equipment, but I guess it was too close to some of the other stuff that was being cleaned out. It went bye-bye. So what do? Well, I tried to hook Danny D up and try to get some internet coverage, and yeah, pretty bad. Most of the time, 10, maybe 11 megabits per second, sometimes as high as 20 or 25. That's okay in general, but not enough if I'm going to try to stream or play games or anything like that. And definitely not enough for, say, my tablet, my phone, and Danny D all together. So what was the solution? So one of the things I could have done was could have gone back and bought a similar Wi-Fi extender. Could have got a Netgear that was very similar to the one I bought. Started looking around, and lo and behold, even though they've come down in price considerably, they're still 130, 150 bucks. And I just didn't, no, I didn't feel like spending that much money. And especially for, me, it's not a permanent thing. I'm only there every couple of weekends or a couple of times a month or something like that. So it wasn't something that I really felt like I had to spend a lot of money on. Well, enter TP-Link. Now, I didn't know what to think. I went with the full intention of going and purchasing a different extender and found this one on sale at Best Buy. Now it was $80, it was like $78, $77 or something like that. If I find it on Amazon or Best Buy or whatever, I'll leave a link. If it's an Amazon link, keep in mind it is going to be an affiliate link. It does help the channel out. If it's a Best Buy link or something like that and I find it, then it's just a regular link. But no pun intended with the name TP-Link. TP-Link's been in business for quite a while. They make pretty good parts, but sometimes they make some parts that are a little bit more on the budget end, and sometimes they're not always the best quality. What I did find with this model, and this model is an RE505X. It's rated for 300 megabits on the 2.4 gig band. It is a dual band, so it also has a 5 gig, and that's rated at 1200, I believe it is. I'm not sure why it says AX1500 because it says very clearly on the box, if I remember seeing it somewhere, that 1200 megabits and 300 megabits. So maybe the two of them together is 1,500. I don't know. TP-Link, maybe you can let somebody know that. But what I am going to tell you is I found this to be actually a pretty decent product. When I took it out of the box, it had the instructions in there. Everything was laid out pretty well. I mean, it seemed a lot sturdier than I remember some, no offense, but some TP-Link products being in the past. This is a Wi-Fi 6 extender, so even if your Wi-Fi signal coming from the original is not Wi-Fi 6, whatever signal you get from here will be. All that's going to mean is that it's going to try to be as true to the original signal as it can be. Obviously, it's not going to be able to repeat the same speed, or you're going to have a little bit of a diminished speed coming from the original source to this, but this will try to be as true as it can to the whatever source it's trying to extend. It does say it's up to 1.5 gigahertz, that because it is a mesh, it does try to help eliminate dead spots. It is, like I said, Wi-Fi 6. All those things, I mean, a lot of times it's fancy stuff they put on the box, but what really is the indicator is when you hook it up and you try to just go ahead and run it. So what I did to begin with is I went ahead and I think I've already probably showed you by now in the video, I've probably already showed you what the figures were when I had no internet connected to it. And then when I did go ahead and connect it up, it does have a port, an Ethernet port on the side. We'll talk about that in just a second. But when I did connect it up and I ran it again, much better. Easily 3 times faster. Their upload speed there is only about 10 or 11, which is fine. But we went from getting around 20 or so, sometimes between 11 and 15 up to 20. We went easily getting 65, 70 gigabits per second. So it was much better. It worked much better. It was more consistent. I didn't have any dropouts or anything like that. A lot of times that was the other problem I had, is that it wouldn't connect, or I'd have problems, or sometimes it would just one of those things where Wi-Fi, sometimes you don't know why you're losing the signal, you just lose it. But I didn't have any issues trying to run this on wireless. The other thing I did though is I went ahead and used the Ethernet port on the back of it, or the side of it in this case, to hook directly into Danny D. And that easily almost doubled. Well, I'm not going to say easily almost doubled, but I went from about 70 or so up to 120, 125 in that neighborhood, which is a considerable difference. And I was pretty happy overall. Like I said, it does have an Ethernet port on the side when you install it, or when you plug it into the wall. It's just a plug-in. And put the antennas up, it will expose the Ethernet port that's there on the side. It does have indicators for 2.5 band, 5 band, or 5 gigahertz band, and all that stuff. I cannot complain at all about this. It's very easy to set up. You can set it up through an app, or you can go ahead and set it up through the browser. And the instructions that were in the box gave you how to do both. So it was very easy, and I was very surprised, quite honestly, at the quality of it. And it's sturdy, and you better believe I took it with me, because I'm not going to leave anything in a box sitting there where it might get disposed of, rather quickly yet again. So if you guys are in the neighborhood for something, it cost, like I said, I believe it was like 75, 78 bucks or something like that. If you're looking for, especially if you've got a larger area you're trying to get to, and they do also have another extender. It's not quite as good as this one, but they do have another extender because they have an RV, and sometimes they're trying to extend that Wi-Fi signal to whoever is out, it's hanging out or over for the weekend or whatever in the RV, and so that's been a help there. But I needed something a little bit more powerful, because obviously if I'm doing this, then I need a little bit something meatier to go ahead and be able to handle my uploads and downloads and things of that nature. So I'll give it a solid pass. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a solid 8 or a solid 9. I reserve the right to give it anything higher, because it is something different from what I'm used to, and I don't know how long it's going to last. But for the time being, and after using it several times now, this happened a couple weeks ago, and I've had an opportunity to use it and take it with me, and it's been put up with, me and jostled around and in with the other tech stuff that I take back and forth. It's holding up really well, and it connected right away, and I didn't have any kind of issues. Like I said, setup was pretty easy, but after I had already set it up, it sat there for like a week, not doing anything at all, and when I plugged it back in, boom, right away. So I was pretty happy with it. So if you guys are in the neighborhood for something like that, I will leave some links, but I know it's a little bit different video, but it was something I ran into and I thought, you know what? I'm trying to post 2 videos a week here, and I might as well let you guys know what all the tech stuff is that's going on. This is not the only thing that's a little bit out of the ordinary. Coming up next, I've got basically about a half dozen laptops from a neighbor. We don't know what kind of shape they're in. There's some laptops in there. There's some tablets. We don't know what kind of shape they're in. We don't know what's on them, but one of the next coming videos is going to be just pulling those out and checking them and going through those and seeing what's still good. And we'll try to find that out too. And it'll probably be from right here at this desk as well. So don't forget to like, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. Join me. Don't forget to go to ThatPaulGuy.tech. The website is starting to build a little bit. Suggestions are always welcome. Don't feel offended if you offer a suggestion and I don't immediately take it because I've been really, really busy. ThatPaulGuyGaming is also on YouTube. I'm going to try to stream at least once a week, post some highlights, and then also talk about some other gaming stuff. Mainly because the tech stuff has gotten away with me. I need something to ground me back to something I enjoy. And if I'm doing a video or a couple videos a week, then it forces me to go back and play games, which is something I do enjoy, and I have to be able to relax some way. So that's what we're going to do there. The only other thing I got to ask you is just, again, it's getting near the holiday season. Just be nice to each other, okay? It's not that hard. Smile, wave, hold the door open, just do something. It's getting that time where even if you see the person ringing the bell outside the department store or something like that, a little bit of pocket change, $1, something, anything. And if you can't afford to do that, then fine. Just be nice and smile and wave, okay? It's not that hard. And then, you know, when somebody does that for you, sometimes it makes you feel better too. Who knows? You might find out you have a good day. Once again, that is all I got. So until the next time when I get in that box right there and see what's going on, I'll see you later.
What is it with you two, huh? What do you want? That's the calmest you guys have been in 2 days.